Hello, hello, and welcome to A Better World with Adrian, the podcast. This is where I, Adrian Schroeder, commune with you once a week and share tools, insights, experiences, modalities, portals, and healings so that you can live the life you want. You can live your dreams. We can all live our dreams, and when we do this, we contribute and build a better world together. So sit back, relax, grab a beverage, grab your highest self, an open mind, an open heart, and receive. You are worthy, and a new earth is here when we believe and be.
So nice.
I just made that up and I was. Aloha, beautiful souls. Welcome to A Better World with Adrian. I just love you so much. And I'm so grateful that you are pressing play today. I'm so grateful that you are here. And I want you to know right here, right now, that literally no matter what's going on in your life, you matter. Your presence matters, your joy matters, the dreams that are sown in the corners of your heart that maybe nobody else truly knows about or understands, they really, really, really matter. So I am really glad you're here. This is our portal to connect. And wow, at the time of this recording, it is January 21st, 2025. I think historical context really, really matters. It really, really, really does matter. So whether you are tuning in to this episode in real time when it drops, it's going to be dropping on January 22nd, 2025, or you are listening to this episode years in the future, the energetic signature and context matters. So I'm doing a bit of a hybrid episode today. So I'm in the middle of my Holy Habits Hive Mind launch. The most powerful souls are joining this space to take their power, take command of their life, take command of their habits, take command of their health, take command of their money, like creating the healthiest, just most vital and abundant year of their life ever. And it's so exciting. If you want to apply for that, go to the link in the show notes. We start soon, and I cannot guarantee that there will be spaces available. Like, people are making moves. Like, it's very exciting. I'm deep in this launch. I just hosted the Oath Breathwork transmission, which if you have not got that masterclass, it's literally with the podcast code. It's $36. The link is in the show notes. You need that breath work. I did that on Inauguration Day, Martin Luther King Day, the day that Donald Trump got reelected as president of the United States. And what I'm going to do and as I just said that, I'm looking out the window. There's a blizzard where I am, and a huge gust of wind came. It is so cold. It's literally like -15 Fahrenheit, and the wind chill is like -30. It's like, wow, I'm cold. But good thing I have leg warmers because if I can make it fashion, I'm fine with it, right? Um, I'm doing a bit of a hybrid episode today because of the historical context. I've just been so deep in like, what are the needle movers for you to push your dreams forward? And I really realized like every single client I help, it's like I help with their holy habits. And so that was gave birth to this hive mind, and it's the most one of the most successful things I've ever done. And we're not even like we have so much time left, and then we have 6 months together. Like, wow. And I wanted to share about one of the most important holy habits, which is digital detox. If you don't know this about me, I've been doing Sacred Saturday for 5+ years. I literally, I call it teleporting to the 90s. I put my phone on airplane mode, or most of the time it's off on Saturdays. I do at least 24 hours minimum off social media. If I have an email going out, it's scheduled in advance. Like, I am off the grid. I'm alone. I'm listening to life. I'm like unreachable. I'm tuning into spirit. I'm cleansing my aura. I'm cleansing my brain. I'm cleansing my mind. And I was planning on just reposting and refreshing my original podcast about the power of digital detox, which I posted literally in March of 2023. This is the power of this work. This is the longevity of this work. There's so many people in the online space that are like hopping on trends and just like wanting a quick fix. And people wonder how I am the way that I am and why I quantum leap on repeat, and why even when I meet adversity, I'm able to rise. Well, first of all, shout out to God. None of it's possible without spirit, without creator. But also shout out to me. I use my free will, and I have cultivated decades and decades and decades of holy habits. And one of them is Sacred Saturday, and one of them is digital detox. And so the second half of this episode today is going to be a repost of, well, it's probably going to be the second two-thirds of this episode, on the power of digital detox that I shared back in 2023. And I don't even think I have video of that, because I think it was when I was doing only audio on the pod, which is like really funny to think about. I can't remember when I started the podcast. No, I do remember, because I remember I moved into my dream condo, my like 3 bed. Everybody's like, "Why do you need a 3 bed?" I'm like, "Because I want it, and I'm a queen. That's why." And I finally am making the money where I can be here comfortably with my all white kitchen and granite countertops. Um, I remember being in my new home, and then that fall I started the podcast. So I think it was like I started it in November 2022, and then in March of 2023 I recorded The Power of Digital Detox. Now, I didn't start Digital Detox in 2023. I started it back in 2019. So I'm really going to save that full transmission for previous Adrian to take hold. Um, and she's going to set the altar for us as well. I really feel like let's teleport back with her. I, I'm smiling so big as I share that, because maybe you resonate with this too. And I invite you to this as well, as like, there's such a deep love when you look back at previous versions of yourself and you're like, wow, like she fucking rocked, man. Like, and I love the versions of me at all stage, because like I've always been doing my best. However, it's the versions of me that I went through some shit, Like, there's something that's really important people don't talk about. It's called like spiritual earning. Like, we earn the right for certain things. Like, if you're a good steward, then spirit will give you things to steward. If there's a lot of like entitlement energy. I call it like spiritual fuckboy energy, where people are just takers. They're like, "Oh, I just deserve this because I just want it, so I should just get it right now." It's like Amazon Prime conditioning, or it's like I call it spiritual fuckboy conditioning, because there's this whole idea of like fuck boys, and it's not just boys. When I say boy, it's like BOI. Um, like all they want to do is like extract from your body. Like basically all they want to do is sleep with you and then leave. They just want to like get their hit and then leave. Like they don't actually care about you. They just want to use your body and extract your life force, right? And this is not all men or like all people, but it's like a very obvious pattern that exists. Now, this happens in spirituality a lot. And who are you extracting from? God's source. You're like, oh, I just want this. When it's convenient for me, when I'm bored at 2 a.m. and I want my dream, and I haven't been showing up to the relationship consistently, I haven't been doing this, I haven't been doing this, but I just want it. Your booty calling God, your booty calling spirit, your booty calling the cosmos, and yo, that's wrong. It's out of integrity. And so, what really, I got off on a tangent because I'm very, very passionate about that topic, but there's a lot of entitlement energy. And oh, I was talking about looking at previous versions of yourself, like the version of me that lived in my dream condo and apartment in Chicago. She was actually born when I was crying on my apartment floor, filing for unemployment at the beginning of 2021, um, during COVID. Like, and she pulled herself out of that, and she built a six-figure business in less than a year from that place. Like, she has tenacity, she has grit, she has commitment. She was so willing to go toe to toe with her shadows. And so when I think about the version of me that recorded what you're going to hear in the second part of this episode, um, I just love her because she built it. She built the vessel, and because she built the vessel, the creator could bring light through the vessel, right? A lot of people are trying to human a miracle when really you're supposed to be the grounding place for miracles. Leave miracles to spirit. That's a big old job. Even if you tried your absolute hardest, you couldn't even touch 1 trillionth of that magic. Your one job is to be the grounding place for it, which is why Holy Habits is so powerful and important. Um, the first part of this episode, I'm not going to set a full altar because I want to leave it to previous me. I do want to take one deep breath, inhale to the nose, exhale out the mouth. I'm holding a pure clear quartz crystal right now for purification vibes and Aquarius vibes and alien vibes. What I want to speak into is the context right now of Pluto power plays that are happening. So I did set the stage for what's going on in the collective at the time of this recording. Okay, Donald Trump just got reelected as the president of the United States again at the beginning of 2025. Okay. Um, the astrology, we have Pluto Cazimi in Aquarius. What is a Pluto Cazimi? A Cazimi is when a planet gets purified by the heart of the sun, and the sun illuminates the energies of that planet. So, what's happening? What gets to die for our vision? Aquarius rules the vision, Aquarius rules revolution, Aquarius rules change. Pluto's the planet of death and rebirth. We are getting a wild, bright, shining spotlight on what must die for the vision to live. That's this Pluto Cazimi. And what's happening? Pluto power plays, right? And this is a reason why I led Oath Breathwork. Oath Breathwork, by the way, is going to be available forever. And you can do the replay literally on repeat for you to tap into truth no matter what kind of crazy circumstances going on in the world. So if you do not have that yet, please get it today. Like do it and then let me know how it goes for you. And then you have lifetime access to the replay. It's all about committing to your oath and your destiny through breath. And what is Aquarius? Aquarius is fixed air, life force, fixed. If you do breath work consistently, Pluto rules power. You will unlock your ultimate power. Now, what's going on right now? We had this thing, this thing, the US politics thing, which I'm not team right or team left. I'm team New Earth. I'm team no bullshit. I'm team love. I'm team truth. Let's be real. Both sides of the party, both sides are very corrupt. It's all a distraction. It's all a circus. Most of the collective plays into it. They're leveraging everybody's nervous systems against us. So it takes a lot of choice to not get swept in that low vibrational groupthink. Um, the other thing that happened was the TikTok ban. And what was the TikTok ban? This is all power plays, okay? Power is used and leveraged for dark forces or light forces on our planet. And Martin Luther King said, those who love peace must learn to organize just as effectively as those who love war. And I've made it my personal mission in this lifetime to make that quote irrelevant. Mystics not being organized, that's a direct front to New Earth. Mystics fearing structure, mystics not being disciplined, that's a direct affront to New Earth. We got to clean that up. We got to heal that. So we had this TikTok ban and then bringing it back. What was it? A power play. There's three kinds of power plays. There's three expressions of power, okay? And it's important for you to know about these because the whole point of my work is for you to get closer to spirit, you to get closer to your soul, you to get closer to your relentless, unshakable, innate power, baby. Like, will you and I feel closer because of this work? Probably, because that's just the nature of this work. Like, sometimes people ask me what I do for a living, and I'm like, I just love people for a living. That's what I do. And it's really hilarious. Like when people try to like introduce me, they're like, I don't know what your job is, but I know you smile a lot. Especially like I grew up in a Muggle family. Like they don't know. My dad's like, she's really happy and she does something online. Um, there are, we're gonna feel closer because we're in this nature of the nature of the work is very vulnerable and intimate. However, it's about your ultimate power. So there's three kinds of power: power over, power to, and power with and within. Power over is what the matrix and dark forces and the systemic oppressive structures on Earth have used again and again and again and again and again. TikTok was an example of this power play. Okay. They took TikTok away, which the reason I have a podcast is because I saw the writing on the wall. I was never going to build my platform that wasn't controlled by me. I was never going to build my platform on something that could be just like ripped away at any moment. By the way, they shadow ban you. Like, honestly, I keep it pretty like being shadow banned is not very strategic or effective for my mission, right? So there's certain words and things I don't say directly on social media because I don't feel like getting shadow banned because I can't spread the message of the light if I'm shadow banned, right? That's why I have a podcast. So Spirit told me no on TikTok years and years and years ago. And everybody was like, you should do TikTok. You're so good on video, blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, Spirit said no. And it's basically the heroine of social media. It's TikTok is extremely, extremely addictive. Like, it's insane. Um, So what happened with the power play with that? They took it away and they gave it back. And it was just emotional abuse on the collective. It was like if you had an abusive partner and they said, "I don't love you," and they moved all their stuff out the next day, and then 2 days later they came back and they're like, "I guess I'll give you a second chance." And it's like you're like thanking them for coming back even though they abused you. That's what happened with the TikTok thing. They're like, we're going to wipe this away, make everybody really, really upset and scared, and then we're going to bring it back, and everybody's going to like feel so thankful for this like horrible shit that we're doing, and we deepened our manipulation of the collective. That's what happened with the TikTok thing, okay? And then everything with, Donald Trump being inaugurated and all the shit with the Biden pardons. I'm like, yo, this is all a power play. It's all a nervous system game. They're leveraging fear left, right, and center. It doesn't matter what your political stance is. They are leveraging your nervous system against you so you stay in chronic fear. And what do we know about the nervous system? The nervous system controls 95% of your decisions. You think dark forces doesn't know that? Oh, they know that. And that's why there's fear mongering. That's why there's fake news. That's why scrolling is so addictive and you just see horrific images again and again and again and again and again and again and again. Um, because they want your subconscious to be controlling your decisions without you realizing it, so you don't remember that you are a powerful as fuck creator. Because if you are a zombie and you're not thinking for yourself and you're just scared, they can manipulate you. That's a power play. All of this was a really, really big distraction. I will be curious what kind of laws, what kind of deals, what kind of things were going on behind the scenes while the whole collective was deeply distracted. So that was another reason why I did the oath breath work. So, I mean, you should definitely get that breath work. And by the way, I'm talking about astrology a lot. The 2025 astrology guide, you can get it for as low as $65 a month for only 6 months. It's literally all of my astrology teachings for the whole year. You can pay for it all at once now for 222. That includes the oath breath work. So if you know you're like, yeah, I want to receive like astrological information and downloads from me, monthly readings, all the things for all of 2025, and you know you want oath breath work, just get the guide because the oath breath work is in there and you will get instant lifetime access to it that way. So there's power plays going on right now. There's power over. TikTok and all this political stuff is about power over. And then there's another kind of power, power to. That's when you give your power to something. Something a lot of people say is power to the people, power to the people. I hesitate to say that because when people say power to, it means to, it's sending it away from you. And this is a really big problem, especially with the spiritual community, is that putting everybody else first before yourself. And then you're pouring from an empty cup, which is actually impossible. And then you end up extracting your own life force. And you think that taking care of yourself is being selfish. And it's actually deeply selfish to not take care of yourself because you can't help anybody else if you're not helping yourself. So power to doesn't work either. You're giving your power away, right? I see this with a lot of my clients that are parents. They give all their power to their children. And then their children move out and they're like, I don't even know who the fuck I am. And I'm like, yeah, you know, it's painful to say, but it's like, yeah, because you gave all of your power to your kids for 18 years. You gave all of your happiness to your kids for 18 years. And one of the greatest, probably one of the biggest jobs for New Earth is being a parent. And one of the most important things you can do is show your kids how to live life full out. Show them what it means to to live and create dreams and live from the heart and the soul and the spirit. Like that is the greatest gift. You don't want to be sacrificing for them. That's an old program, right? So power over corrupt doesn't work. I mean, I don't want to say doesn't work. It works extremely well. It works extremely, extremely well. Why do you think darkness advances so quick? They're organized. They know exactly what they want. They're not afraid to go get it and leverage it, right? So there's power over. The only issue is they have a horrible, horrible code of ethics. I deeply respect the Matrix because of how precise they are. Like, imagine if we had that precision for the light, what we would get done. The problem with dark forces is that is darkness. So the third one is power with and within. And that's what we're interested in this community. And for New Earth and building a better world is like, okay, activating that power within yourself and then with others. Like we're like with and within, right? That's really the age of Aquarius is the human family, right? And a powerful collective is built through powerful individuals, and Aquarius is the revolution. We're about to overthrow some shit. Spoiler alert. Okay. So it's really important to just be aware of these power plays, the power plays that are at play, and they're all related with Pluto. Pluto's an Aquarius. He will be in Aquarius for the next 20 years. Okay. If you are not willing to go toe to toe with your shadow, you will get your ass kicked in the next 20 years. And you might get your ass kicked anyways. If you want to learn more about that, go to my recent episode called I Got My Ass Kicked. Now What? It's a good one. um, I've been mentoring with Pluto because I've been going through such an intense, intense transit with him for literally probably since that episode, March 2023. That was about the time. That was about the time. How does this all play into the power of digital detox? Okay, we're talking about power right now, all left, right, and center power and how it's being used, right? We've got to be great, great stewards of our power. And the power of digital detox is unmatched. We are easily manipulated when we're always on apps and we can't hear spirit. We like digital detox is a fundamental human need. Okay? The point of this technology is to connect us, and our connection, at least my intention is like this technology is only serving the purpose of me transmitting the ancient technology, right? The ancient technology of the stars, the ancient technology of these wisdom codes, like the things I'm remembering, my shamanism, breath work, like I'm able to reach people from all over the world and it's so exciting. And like the fact that we're here on this podcast together, like that really means something, right? That's Age of Aquarius. So it only is a positive when we stay in our power, when we stay in command. And digital detox is how we do that. And it's not just a box to check, it's a lifestyle. Digital detox is a lifestyle. It's a lifestyle I stand behind. I proudly, proudly describe myself as a digital detox evangelist. And evangelism, like that's like it can be a really harsh word to hear. That just means you try to convert people to it, right? I I have no issue being known for that. Do I try to convert as many people as possible to a digital detox lifestyle? Abso-fucking-lutely. Because your happiness, your nervous system, your well-being, your clarity, your connection to spirit, your connection to Mother Earth, your connection to other human beings in person, your brain, the health of your body literally depends on it. Your bank account. Most people scroll for 2 hours a day. That adds up to 3 months of 8-hour work weeks per year. My clients win because they have 3 months more per year than most people. I win because I have 3 months more per year than most people. And in those 3 months, I'm also not being programmed to forget who I am by the scroll. And whether you're someone who uses social media or not, you're still scrolling. You're scrolling on your email, you're scrolling on other apps, you're always checking, you're at the mercy of the ping, at the notification. Oh, someone called me. I'm going to drop all of the things that are important to me to just answer in this instant response culture. Nope. Nope. Hard no. So that's this first half of this transmission. It's 222 as I say that. I love that for us. Um, Before we transition into the second half of this transmission, if you want to claim your full power and you want to actually implement a digital detox lifestyle, that's something we're really, really focusing in the Holy Habits Hive Mind. That's like a major holy habit. That is like the ultimate holy habit. That's like the holy grail of holy habits. Like my sacred Saturday is exactly that. It's sacred. And I credit my endurance, my happiness, I credit like most of my great ideas and like spiritual growth and like the most amazing things in my life happen on Sacred Saturday because I'm so just plugged in. And I remember who I am in a world that is constantly seeking to take me away from that and away from the light of the Creator. So if you want to live this, first of all, it's not easy. It's not your fault that you've tried and it hasn't worked. It's not easy. That's by design. It's science of the nervous system. We're going to go into all of this in the Holy Habits Hive Mind. So apply through the link in the show notes. We start on the 29th on the new moon in Aquarius. Um, get Oath Breathwork or get the astrology guide, which includes the breathwork. By the way, both of those are in the Hive Mind. So if you just want it all, do the Hive Mind. I love you so much. And I am going to pass over the mic to previous me, previous Adrian. Shout out to my girl. And I just love you. Really take this message to heart. Like, the world is ratcheting up in crazy ways. 2025 is faded. The astrology is fucking crazy. From now to 2027 is literally insane. Like, we will be unrecognizable. Like, if you think we changed in 2020, whoa, you about to like be blasted open with like, I don't fully have words for what's coming. So take this message to heart and really like this is important. Like if you want to play the power games in a way where love wins, this is so important. I love you, beautiful soul, and I will hand over the mic to previous me and the power of digital detox. Hello, hello, and welcome to A Better World with Adrian. I am Adrian. I am your host, your leader, your guide. I'm a shaman, a breathwork facilitator, an astrologer. I am a Lemurian mermaid medicine woman, and I was raised on Potawatomi land. Most of all, I want you to know that you are welcome here just as you are. And I believe in you. I believe that if you were guided to this episode, it was for a purpose. And this is a place for you to learn. This is a place for you to heal. This is a place for you to grow. Why? Because when we all reach our potential, when we all embody unconditional love, and when we each raise our hand for our soul's call, and create dreams. We weave those dreams together to create the fabric of a better humanity, of a better world. Hence the title of this podcast. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I just love and adore this podcast, and I'm so excited about today's episode. So if you are new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. I cannot wait to share this transmission with you. And if you are a longtime OG listener, welcome back, fam. This is a topic that a lot of people ask me a lot about because it's like one of the pillars in my life, and that is digital detox. And even the way that I channel through this podcast is partly because of my relationship with digital detox and just social media and the internet. Just being plugged in, I guess. Like I've gone back and forth. I believe I mentioned this in another episode. Like, do I want to do video for the podcast? And I will do video at some point. I think it's smart because some people do like video, and then it kind of just adds to the impact that I can make with my work. And also, I struggle with it because one of the beautiful things about the podcast is I don't have to be on a screen, and you don't have to be on a screen. And so when I get into this transmission, you're going to learn why that fucking rocks. So before we dive in, let's just connect ourselves. I'm going to share what's on my altar today. If you're new here, I always have an altar of things that I bring forward for us. I have a pyrite crystal, which is new in the past week. I was guided to this stone. I have no idea why. It has to do with money and wealth and abundance and just like holding things in the physical form. So it's powerful. And so right now at the time of this recording, Saturn just entered Pisces and Pluto is about to enter Aquarius in 10 days. And so if you missed that episode, I did the episode right before this is called Saturn, Pluto, and Big Baller Astrology. And I go all into those two planets. So I think this pyrite has a lot to do with a new earth and what new earth wealth means, like being able to hold it in your hand. So I also have Ganesha, Om Gam Ganapataye Namaha. He has been my guide for years. I've chanted daily to Ganesh, oh my God, for at least 5 years. And never missed a day. I have my amethyst, I have my rose quartz, I have my clear quartz. I have 2 white unscented candles because I'm just really feeling like a new beginning in, like, I'm getting for the collective and for myself, like a new beginning in relationships. Like a lot of the old energy has been like siphoned off. There's been a huge separation as Saturn entered Pisces. I don't know if you felt it. And with that full moon in Virgo we had as well. And whether you're listening to this when I release this episode or you listen to it in 2 years, 5 years, like we're moving through era defining astrology right now. So it will be cool to like look back, and I invite you, no matter who you are, no matter when you're listening, to go back to March 7th, 2023 and just see what was like starting then. Like what was murmuring then, or maybe it was screaming, I don't know. I had a couple of screams over here. It was super powerful astrology. So I really feel like with the white unscented candles and having 2 is the number of relationship. And I've really just noticed and seen like which relationships are pure and like rooted in a new earth. So white is the color of purity. I also went and bought white lilies and white roses this weekend because I'm feeling like purification. Purity is related with Virgo energy as well. And also just new beginnings in relationships that truly resonate for your frequency. So that's on the altar for us today. So let's connect Know that you're in a place where you get to receive. Close your eyes if that feels good. Feel your feet on Mother Earth. Allow your shoulders to relax. Unclench your jaw. Inhale through your nose. Open up your third eye. Open up your crown chakra. Open up your ears, which are connected to the throat chakra. Allowing yourself to listen deeply to yourself and to this transmission. Exhale out the mouth. One more. Inhale through your nose. This time setting an intention, holding at the top. Why did you press play today? And then exhale out the mouth. Letting go of everything except this moment. So 2 breaths have opened a portal of relationship. We have 2 candles. We have the relationship between you and I. Our souls are connecting right now. The relationship between you and the universe. The relationship between you and your highest self. The relationship between you and your soul. The relationship between you and your dreams. You and your Dharma path. Like, there's all these things in life that are relationships. And I think that's a huge thing. That's a very beautiful segue that I did not plan into today's topic. It's all relationships. So I'm going to go into, and at the time of this recording, I have about 5 different titles. I could title this episode. I could title it The Power of Digital Detox, The Importance of Digital Detox, How and Why I Detox, Digital Detox. It's all the relationship with technology. That's what it is. Relationship with technology. And so let's dive into this. I'm just going to roll. I have a bunch of stuff written down. There's so much to say. So the power of digital detox, why I digital detox, why it matters, why it's such a pillar in my life, why literally everybody in my community online and in person knows how hard and fast I am with my phone, with tech. And if you go on any of my social media, or if you're on my email list or anything, I love creating content. I love sharing. I love connecting. It oozes out of my pores. And when you look at my astrology, it's not surprising. And then also I'm a musician. I'm a trained artist. So the art of something I have written on my bulletin board is prolific quality output. And I got that from Brendan Burchard, my first coach ever. So shout out Brendan. Prolific quality output. I don't just do something once. I do it prolifically and quality. I don't put shit out. I make sure it's quality. So that's just a value of mine. That's it's not something it's definitely I decided to do it, but it's just part of who I am. So people ask me all the time. I do something called Sacred Saturday every single Saturday, where I take at least 24 hours off of social media specifically. And many times it's at least 24 hours off any tech, and my phone will be off. Or definitely in airplane mode. I would say my phone's in airplane mode probably 70 or 80% of the time in my life. And my notifications are always off. So people ask me about Sacred Saturday, how do you do that? How do you do it so consistently? Blah, 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 blah. And so, there's very specific steps in how. The biggest thing is I just decided that it was important to me, and then I followed through on that decision. So the biggest thing that blocks people is they know what to do and then they don't do it. And then they don't trust themselves because they consistently behave in a way that they don't actually respect even. So then they don't trust themselves, they don't respect the way that they're living, then their self-worth goes down, and it's a loop from hell. So that's why what I do with my clients in breath work is so deeply important, because I don't believe people are lazy or incompetent. I think people, it's two things. You're either scared shitless at a cellular level. That's why breath work matters. We heal the part of the nervous system that controls 95% of your decisions, which includes everything with tech. And then the other thing is lack of skill sets and like the daily steps. So today I'm just gonna roll about the power of digital detox and importance of it in my life, like why I do it, and then I'm gonna share some steps for how, so maybe you can implement them in your life. So technology is our greatest asset and it's our greatest weapon. It's a weapon being used against us by the Matrix. And there's so much, so I'm going to come at it from a few different lenses. The science behind it, like every time you swipe, like think about it, we have a phone, we have computer, literally everything is like beep, 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 constantly grabbing our attention. People think that the greatest resource is money. It's like, no. The greatest resource is your attention and your energy and your life force and your time. There's always more money. There's never more of all of that stuff. And people allow technology to run their daily lives, and then they're covered in distraction, then they can't even hear their own truth, let alone go create a dream. Like, there's no way, if people are inundated with notifications from tech, can you ever hear your soul's truth? And can you ever have the disciplined action and daily practice of bringing a dream to fruition? Those things do not go together. All the great inventors, manifestors, like change makers, leaders, they fucking batten down the hatches without distractions. Like, one of the greatest weapons of the Matrix is to distract people. And they do it through tech. So the science behind it, like, why does digital detox matter, okay? Every time a notification goes off, it activates our nervous system, our fight or flight. And this whole premise, like, I'm so glad I grew up in the 90s, because I grew up before the internet, baby. My parents would be like, yeah, you're bored, who fucking cares? And then me and my siblings would make up games and stuff, because that was just like normal. And I like play outside and roll in the grass and shit. And it's just so different now. So I'm grateful for that. Every time we get a notification and there's this expectation, which is based in the nervous system, people have a fight or flight response that something terrible, aka their safety as a human being, is in jeopardy if they don't respond right away. That sounds crazy maybe when I say it out loud. However, that's what's going on at a cellular level and in the nervous system. So this is what's being activated all day, all day, all day, all day, all day. The science behind the attention span of people to focus has gone down insane amounts. Like in the past 20 years for sure, but even in the past like 3 years, it's been exponential. There's dopamine hits. Phones are an addiction. Phones are an addiction, okay? So it's so interesting that people only think addiction is like hard drugs. It's like, well, definitely addiction in alcohol, even though it's the most normalized substance. And definitely addiction with tech. There's also other kinds of addictions, like addiction to being right, addiction to like being the victim. All of these things could be addictions. So I just want to share a little bit of the science behind it, because it really is detrimental to our health. Like, has the digital world opened up the possibility of a new earth and the age of Aquarius? 100,000 million %, okay? And we must use it consciously. Otherwise, it will be used against us. Think about it. The people that created Instagram and all these people in Silicon Valley that created all these apps, they don't even allow their kids to have phones because they do not want their kids at the mercy of all the algorithms and things that are designed to take us out of our power. They are literally designed to take us out of our power, okay? So if you're someone that says, hey, I don't want to scroll, but then you scroll all the time, like, can you change that? Do you have the power to change that? And will it help you in life to change that? Yes. Also, it's not your fault. It was designed that way. It was designed to keep you out of your power, to keep you mindlessly scrolling, and to keep you consuming rather than thinking for yourself. Because what happens when you think for yourself? You remember how powerful you are. You remember that love is the truth. You remember that anything is possible and that you're a child of the stars. And what do? You start to change things. You start to take action. And the Matrix does not want that. So, I'm just channeling. So this is some of the science behind it. And then the spiritual component, I guess if I were to categorize this, like, why I digital detox, okay? I guess the biggest thing is, like, I just feel better. But this is, like, some of the, like, nitty gritty of why. So from the spiritual lens, when I digital detox, I really view it as I unplug from the Matrix, I unplug from the noise of the world, and I plug into source. Like, I don't know if you saw the new Avatar, the Way of Water one. Holy fucking shit. That was epic. I definitely set some boundaries, like, because there is violence in it, and I'm very sensitive to that. I think all people are. They've just been desensitized by technology. Like, that's why all these video games are, like, no bueno. And I remember, and you may not get this if you didn't see the movie, but she plugs herself into, like, the tree of life, basically. Like, she plugs herself into the core of the earth, and, like, all her magical powers come alive. So that's how I view it with my digital detox. I'm like, I'm unplugging from the Matrix. I'm unplugging from the noise of the world. I'm unplugging from everything. Like, people cannot reach me, okay? Again, it's like the 90s when, like, one of my friends would call and I just wasn't home because I would be, like, outside doing something. And then I would call them back, like, the next day or something. I don't know. It's bizarre how these expectations have shifted. So I unplug from all of that and I plug into source. This is how I stay connected to my intuition. Honestly, digital detox is how I stay fucking awesome. Digital detox is how I stay the real Adrienne in a world that seeks to take me out at every turn. And that may sound dramatic, however, it's true. I can just walk down the block and have, like, 50 different things advertised to me and, like, planted and programmed into my subconscious mind. If you're a human alive on the planet right now and you are a leader, if you resonate with this podcast at all, you are a new earth leader in some way, even if it's just in your soul and you've never even admitted it to yourself yet. And our responsibility as new earth leaders is to move through the world powerfully and with command of our subconscious mind, and consistently healing it and consistently recalibrating it. This is why I view breathwork as a need, not a want, for all new earth leaders. And I did a whole episode. Go if you want to learn more about breath work. It's called Channeling a Better World Through Breath Work and the Nervous System. We will link it in the show notes. When I unplug, I'm connected to the real me. I'm connected to my intuition, source, my guides, my highest self in the present moment. It's literally like meditation. It's honestly, I don't even listen to music on most Sacred Saturday because I want to listen to spirit. I want to listen to myself. I'm like, what do I think? Because I'm in the game of constantly evolving, constantly healing. Like, I have just started to scratch the surface of my potential. Like, we just getting started. I'm 31, y'all. This is about to be lit, and I'm fucking stoked for it. So I'm constantly reading. I'm constantly listening to podcasts. I have coaches. I'm in a mastermind. Like, all of these things, I have input. And it's very important for me to regularly turn it all off. Even if it's a good input, right? Like, I curate my feed on Instagram for manifestation. Like, I'm manifesting either traveling long term or moving to Hawaii. And so I followed all these Maui accounts. And so literally, I take what I know about the subconscious and I leverage it for what I want. So literally my whole feed on Instagram basically is like energy healers and new earth leaders and Maui. I do stay tapped into the matrix because it's important to, if we're going to shatter the matrix, we must study it, observe it, and respect it, and do our part within it the best we can to shatter it effectively. We can't just pretend it doesn't exist. That's a fool's errand. But with all of this, that's a whole nother episode. All of this is just so deeply important to regularly digital detox. Just like fasting, just like, every single night when you're sleeping, you're not eating all night. Your body has a break from metabolizing things. And what happens? Your body literally cleans the mitochondria of your cells. So this is why it matters. And it's all about, for me, it's my relationship with me and my relationship to spirit, God, source, energy, my relationship to my gifts. Like, I do a lot of skill building, but I also something about me too is I care about what I do so much. I'll go and go and go and go and go and go and go. So I specifically set Sacred Saturday, it's a rule for me. Hey, literally no work for 24 hours at least. And I'm not gonna lie, that part was not easy at first. I would be in Sacred Saturday, but I would still be planning programs sometimes. And sometimes yes, you get downloads and you want to capture the downloads. However, it's this is my inner child time. This is very connected to, if anybody's familiar with the Morning Pages by Julia Cameron. I've been doing morning pages every day for 5 years as well, and seriously changed my life forever. I don't necessarily do an artist date every week. That's something where you take your artist on a date and just have fun and be inspired by something that you do. I don't think that's not exactly what I do, but it's just Sacred Saturday. And even my family knows. They don't expect me to respond. For a while they'd be like, "Oh my God, is everything okay?" I'm like, "I'm in Sacred Saturday, yo. Deuces." So it seems really radical just because of what's been normalized now, but it's not when you think about it compared to yeah, I keep saying the 90s because I was born in 91. It's not radical. It's just a different rhythm of living. And it's more connected to Mother Earth. And we're not making a new earth without Mother Earth. We all have rhythms, we all have seasons, we all have moments of rest and play and effort and building and breaking down and breaking through. And it really is honoring that rhythm of life. Like, if you think about like the constantly being inundated with notifications over and over and over and over and over, this is why people burn out, because their energy gets zapped. You can't think, you're too distracted, constantly like on the defense rather than like playing offense in your life. So yeah, when I digital detox, this is all to say why it's about my relationship with me, like meditation. Again, I've been meditating every day that's been more like 10 years. Yeah, every day for 10 years. Meditation is simply hanging out with yourself. That's all it is. And are there different techniques that can support you in the process? Of course. It's just literally hanging out with yourself. And so like, I'm a meditation teacher as well, and that's how I describe it to people. For Sacred Saturday, I think a lot of people are uncomfortable with silence, because what happens in silence, you're stuck with yourself. And a lot of people will do anything to avoid going toe-to-toe with themselves. That's why alcohol sales skyrocketed during COVID, because people were just numbing to avoid their feelings. And 2 foundations of manifestation that people do not talk about that are deeply important, that comes before anything. It comes before fucking law of attraction or any of that, is physical health and feeling your feelings. And digital detox actively supports both of those things. It supports your physical health. Like our physical, like our energy bodies and our eyes and all that, we're not meant to be glued to a screen. We really aren't. We really are not. And then feeling your feelings, people numb out with their phones and tech all day. Because when there's notification, you are constantly distracted from your feelings, and you just keep avoiding. Digital detox doesn't allow that. So that's why it's so powerful too, because you hang out with yourself and you get to know yourself. And I say this all the time to my clients. I just said this to someone yesterday when we were having a really powerful conversation about self-love. The only person, like, you are the love of your life. The only relationship that lasts from your first breath to your last breath is your relationship with you. It's not your husband or wife. It's not your kids. It's not even a dog or anything like that. It's just you and you. And so this is the most sacred thing in my whole life, besides my relationship with spirit, which to me, they're very, very, very connected, because I am God source energy in human form, and so are you. And if we all lived with that awareness at the forefront, we would digital detox a lot more as a collective. But the Matrix has their hooks in. And so it's really like breaking that cycle. So I could go on and on and on. You know, why do I digital detox? I'm happier, I feel better, and I'm proud of who I am because I'm tapped into the real me. I'm not at the mercy of notifications. I literally put myself and my energy and my well-being first. Fuck all the status quo. Fuck all the need to reply within 24 hours. Fuck all of that. It's all bullshit. It's all a lie. What's the truth? unconditional love, connection, joy, presence. And connection to your real self and the truth of the universe, the truth of the stars. So now I'm going to transition into how. So people ask me how. Well, how do you do it? How do you do it? How do you do it? I mean, without being too, it's people overcomplicate things because they're uncomfortable. And if something's complicated, then it's kind of like an escape hatch for, oh, it's okay if I don't do it because it's complicated and hard. And I'm like, what did Yoda say? Do or do not, there is no try. What's low-key running the show there is perfectionism, because people feel like if they do it, they need to do it perfectly. No, doing it just means you did it, and then you get feedback, and then you get to refine it moving forward. So I, as a classically trained musician who has performed at very high levels in very high stress situations, like that's literally, I would train months and 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 months, like literally for what, the first 25 years of my life. So I'm an expert in habits and high performance and tweaking skills for automation. It's my fucking jam. I really, if you've been listening to the podcast lately and following my work lately, I have gotten so clear that that's a very important part of my work as being a leader for other New Earth leaders, because people struggle with the 3D actions. So I'm going to I created 8 bullet points that can guide you in exploring what digital detox is for you. So create boundaries. Create boundaries for yourself and then follow them. First, you must decide. You must decide and commit that digital detox is going to be part of your life. And it just takes one-time decision. Delete the word try out of your vocabulary. Like, for real. Language really fucking matters. And it's so interesting because some people, I mean, I don't really resonate with people like this, but people don't enjoy the word fuck sometimes. And to me, it's how it's used, whether it's like harmful or not. The word try is extremely harmful. It blocks people's greatness and healing all day, every single day. So delete the word try. Create boundaries for yourself, okay? So what are your daily boundaries with tech? So boundaries are just, if you think about it, like the water is your energy. And if you want your energy to flow, like you need a glass for the energy, right? So boundaries. People thrive in boundaries. So it could be a time of day, like an amount of time, like all of these things. So for me, I'm not on any tech at all before, I'm in airplane mode at least 1 hour before bed, and my phone, here, I'll go, that's on another bullet point. But these are just some of the boundaries. I'm not, the first 2 hours I'm awake, I'm still in airplane mode, and I don't take any calls before noon. Those are just some of my boundaries, and those work for me. Those work for me. And I have ones for personal and business too. So to create boundaries, they don't need to be your boundaries forever, but just create some and then do it for a little while and see what happens. So second thing, shift your mindset. Shift your mindset. This could have been the first bullet, actually. Digital detox is not a punishment. It's not it can be a challenge, but it's self-love. It's self-love and self-preservation. Like, people think they're missing out when they unplug. People miss out so much more when they do not unplug. Like, I wouldn't trade it for the world. My life and how I feel when I do my Sacred Saturday every single week, and when I do my quarterly extended digital detoxes. Oh my God. It's self-love and self-preservation and self-respect. It's not a punishment. So shift your mindset, and then it's easier to show up. So the third thing, have a separate place for your technology. So I have something, I call it my phone home. And literally I say, before I put my phone in there, I'm like, ET phone home, LOL. And it's just like me by myself saying that. So, I mean, unless I'm consciously so I set times during the day, like, hey, this is when I'm going to go on Instagram and post and like talk to people and do my DMs. And it's no more than an hour a day. And then the rest of the time, my phone is in the other room in my little basket. That's my phone home. And then when I get home from anywhere, the first thing I do is put my phone in my phone home. It's not on my person. It's in a whole other room. And then I consciously go check it. So it's so different than like all of the shit coming in at me, rather than me walking over to my phone to check in. And so the times when I check in are pre-planned in the boundaries that I created. So the fourth thing you can play with, make a ritual out of it. So Sacred Saturday to me is a sacred ritual. I do it every single week. It's a ritual. It's a ceremony in motion to the divine, to me, to life itself. And you can do it daily, you can do it weekly, you can do it quarterly. So my daily rituals is like, okay, an hour before bed, if my phone is not already in airplane, it's in airplane, it's in the phone home. I'm winding down, and then once a week I do my Sacred Saturday, 24 hours at least off tech and social. Quarterly, I do an extended digital detox, where it's like a week or 10 days. I did one over the holidays that was 10 days long. You guys, it was so epic. And it's like I'm on a retreat. I put myself on a mandatory retreats. And I love the word mandatory. Some people feel caged by that word, but it's like, it's for my highest good and the highest good of all. So why wouldn't I not make it mandatory? Or another way to say it is like a non-negotiable. Like working out and moving my body are non-negotiables. Also a non-negotiable for me is every day I take a 22-minute nap. Yep. That's a projector life right there in human design. Because I feel better. So when I learn an ROI of something for myself, I leverage it. I'm like, ooh, this works. I'm gonna leverage it. I'm gonna get the biggest return on investment from this. So the fifth idea, master the art of showing up and start small. So this is something that James Clear talks about in Atomic Habits. A lot of people are like, oh my gosh, digital detox. I'm gonna take 3 days off of tech. I'm like, what about, can you go to the grocery store without your phone? Let's do that first. It's also like people sitting down to meditate and being like, yeah, I'm going to meditate for 20 minutes. And then it's horrible. And then they never come back. When you could, okay, I'm going to sit down for 2 minutes a day. 2 minutes a day. Anybody can do that, right? And so really start small, because then you're going to gain momentum, and then you're going to start having more congruence with you're actually being who you say you want to be, rather than having that constant discord of oh, I really shouldn't be on my phone, but I am. That's grating your soul inside you and you don't even realize it. And then you wonder why you hem and haw, people please, don't trust yourself, all this stuff. It's because you have that inner discord like daily within. So master the art of showing up. Start small, and then you can build on that. So the sixth thing is collect data. So once you master the art of showing up, once you're doing your digital detoxes consistently, so whatever that means for you, daily, weekly, quarterly, collect data. What's working? What's not working? You can make a point system for like, hey, how did I feel on a scale from 1 to 10 with my sleep, with this, with my emotions, with like collect data. That's how you're going to figure out what works for you, because what works for me is not going to be what works for you. So, for example, like I've done this with food. This is how I figured out almonds were like deeply inflammatory to me. And most people based on what I've read, but I was like, man, because I have a food journal and a workout journal, and I'm very, very like detail oriented. And I've written down like, hey, when I do A, B, C, D, E, this happens in my body, this happens in my energy, and it changes because I change. And we all do, but I was noticing a pattern. I'm like, man, when I eat almonds, my face gets a little bit red and I feel like my body temperature goes up. That's weird. And then I was like, oh, I think I'm allergic to almonds. And then I cut them out, and it was like all of that shit just went away. So collecting data, that's the only way you're going to know you're going to be able to build an ecosystem that works for you for digital detox. And then 7, set an intention for your tech. Set an intention for your technology every single time before you drop in. So this is something that I do every time before I walk in the door at a client's home. I say 3 words, and I like to make a game out of it. So I'll be like, I am playful, potent, and positive, or something like that, like make it an alliteration. And I make a new one up every time because it's just like a fun game, but you set that in advance and then it shapes how you show up. So this is something that I do before I log on to any social media, and I do this before email as well. Like, what's my intention here? My intention is to pour my gifts into the world to make a positive ripple on humanity. And for Instagram especially, because the social media is a lot more volatile in terms of like the harm it can cause our psyche. I'm here to connect, to create, and contribute. Boom, done, roasted. So a lot of digital detox has to do with the way you interact with tech when you're not in detox, right? Just like I'm preparing for a fast right now, and I mean, I eat clean all the time. Like, do I have dark chocolate and all that? Yes, I do. And like, if someone was just fucking crushing like, I don't know, ice cream and popcorn and all these like unhealthy inflammatory foods, and then try to fast, that's going to be actually really, it could be dangerous for your body. And then also like, it's going to really suck because you haven't prepped yourself. So it's really an overall ecosystem of conscious use of tech. And then 8 is measure it, which I think is part of collecting the data. So yeah, this is digital detox. I could go on and on and on and on about this. This is the power of it. This is why it matters. These are some pointers for you to utilize for yourself. And I really invite you to create some sort of ritual for yourself to detox, to do a digital detox, and set guidelines in your day to day, and do something at least once a week to reset and just unplug from the matrix and plug into source, into yourself.
is deeply, deeply important for all new earth leaders. So you can remain clear, calm, so you can keep healing, so you can stay tapped into unconditional love and the truth. And so you can hear yourself. You can hear your intuition. You can hear spirit. You can hear the wisdom of the universe. You can study the stars. You can commune with Mother Nature. Like, all of this stuff deeply, deeply matters for new earth leaders. And it's just a huge reason why digital detox is a necessity. So I invite you to play with this, and I do have an invitation for you if you so desire. So I'm releasing this podcast on the 15th of March. So this is right before the equinox, the beginning of the new astrological year and the new moon in Aries. So I'm leading a equinox detox breathwork masterclass. And I'm going to be leading people through a 24-hour digital detox, and we're going to bookend it. We're going to have an opening ceremony, and then we're going to have a closing breathwork journey where we release all the patterns from technology use from the cells of our bodies so we can start brand new with the new year. So if you are interested in that, we will link it in the show notes. I'm so excited for it. And it's part of a 3 masterclass series called Bridge of Breathwork. So it's quantum healing, equinox detox, and then Aries audacity, all breathwork, bridging the gap first from you to your true self, and then bridging the gap from one year to the next with deep healing. And it's like choosing a quantum leap, basically. So yeah, that's the invitation. And I hope you really got something out of this episode. Like, this is a huge part of my life. This is something I support my clients with on the daily, is like their relationship with tech and just like how to be a spiritual being and, you know, pour your magic through the internet while also like really taking good care of yourself. It really is about taking good, deep care of you. Like, it really matters. So, yeah. I hope this served you. I cannot wait to hear from you. If you got something out of this podcast, I encourage you to share it on your Instagram stories. Tag me, let me know what came up for you. Let me know what landed for you. And if you so desire, you can write a review for the podcast. That really, really helps as a new pod. And of course, you are invited to Equinox Detox if you feel the call. I also am very specifically calling in new one-on-one clients right now. So if you're interested in working with me, either astrology, breathwork, manifesting, or all of this is leadership stuff, and digital detox is a huge part of manifesting, please apply through the link in the show notes. Woohoo! We did it! Power of digital detox. I'm sending you a life that now has digital detox as a key component to your success, your inner peace, your healing, your love, your joy, and a portal of potential and connection to your highest self. I love you so much. Don't forget how amazing you are. Don't forget that your ideas matter. They're important. It doesn't matter if anybody's done it before. A new earth is going to be made with new ideas. So trust it, follow it, make it, dream it, build it. You are worthy. Every single part of you is beautiful, amazing, rare, and complete. I love you so, 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 so much. Go out there, be the change, be the light. And I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.
Okay, current me just had to come back in at this last moment. Isn't she cool? Everything I said still stands, and yeah, go out there, be the change, be the light, make a stranger smile. And here we go, fam. Here we go. I will see you next time on A Better World with Adrienne.
Thank you so much for tuning in to A Better World with Adrienne. If you liked this episode, please subscribe to A Better World. Share this podcast with someone you love, someone you know that has dreams and visions to share with all of us for a better world. So subscribe, please leave a review, and let's spread this message like the wildfire of the heart, of the soul, of a better world. Follow me on Instagram at MindfulJoyMuse. Tag me in your stories and let's spread this message. Don't forget, you're the only you that exists in the history of the universe. You are important, you are worthy, you are valuable, your ideas are needed and an important part of a better world. Love you and see you soon.
Nice.